Let me start presenting it. So, yeah. So yeah, are you able to see my screen? Everyone.
Yes, Preetham.
Yeah. Are their mics disabled?
Yes.
So you can turn it on, no problem. So put your mics off. So I'll be telling you about Android Study Jams now. Please turn your mics off. Okay. So what basically Android Study Jams are? So these are some sort of community study groups where people like us, I mean students like us, uh, come together. Can you put your mics off? Disable those. Okay. So yeah. So we as a group have to learn about Android application development. So this is all about a series of sessions will be conducted where Android basics are being taught to us. So we have to go through all those in order to build applications. So that's what happens in this Android study jams. So what are the opportunities you will be getting from the study jams means this is the course name which we'll be seeing here, Android Basics in Kotlin. So this is what the course we'll be going through. So this tells all the basics about Android development. And in this course, you will be able to have some collection of apps which we'll be developing. And after developing those apps, you need to deploy them somewhere, right? In order to make others to download your apps. We use Google Play Store for Android applications. So we'll be teaching you how to deploy those on Google Play also. And finally, after you complete all the course sessions and all, you will get certified um, by Android Study Jams. So. So where to start? So the first and foremost thing you need to have is a developer's profile. So I'll show it to you later in the course. Okay. So let's go with the basics. So what is Android? Right. So Android is an operating system which is Linux based. So it is developed in 2008, which is owned by Google. So there are various versions came up in this, and these are primarily used for touch screens like phones, computers, and other devices. So now Android is also running on cars and watches too. So the cars are running with Android nowadays. So there are 2.5 billion users, Android device users are present now, and over 116 plus billion downloads are being seen from the last 12 months. Okay, and as you are registering, there is a question I asked you, right, about the versions and all. So some of them also replied by saying their iOS versions too. So, but this course is all about Android application development. So you can also develop apps on Mac and all. So, but using iPhones is not a big problem. So these are all the versions you see here. Android KitKat, these are all the famous things which we previously know. But now we are using Android 10 and 11, which are running right now. 12 is also came into picture recently. So these are all the versions we have. So what basically an Android application is? So it is a software application which runs only on Android platforms, of course. So in every application, we'll have this two types of things. One is front end and the other one is back end, right? So in here in Android application, will be the front end will be the user interface which we will be interacting, and the backend consists of all the data and the process which the front end activities will be moved. So for front end, we will be using a language called XML, extensive markup language, and for the backend, we have language Kotlin, Java, and C++. But in this module, we will be using only Kotlin. So let's get to know more about Kotlin. So for building any Android application, the two main important things which we need are Android Studio and a software development kit. So what basically an Android Studio is means it is an IDE. So it is an integrated development environment. So here the names itself will give you the meaning of the thing. So integrated development environment, it is an integrated environment which is used for development. Okay, so this is used to develop Android apps. That is what we use Android Studio for. Okay, so if this Android Studio is having all the tools like editor, compiler, and package manager, debugger tools, and all, so why do we need this SDK thing? So this IDE may have packages, but for any application to develop, we need something called software development kit. So the name itself says that it is a development kit in order to develop softwares, right? So this includes various collection of libraries and data, which adds up to Android Studio in order to develop applications in a better way. So, so what's Kotlin is? It is a programming language used for developing Android applications. So, priorly before this Android Studios was developed, there is something called IntelliJ IDE. It is an IDE developed by JetBrains. So they use this by Java programming, and some Google production tools were used for developing those apps. After some time, they started developing apps using Android Studio. So after this IntelliJ IDE, so they started using Android Studio that was developed by Google with the help of JetBrains. So this language is introduced by JetBrains. Okay, so it is an open source, free, and it is used over 5.8 million developers around the world. So this is a widely loved programming language. So in a survey, they said that Kotlin ranked in top three as the most loved programming language. And these are all you are seeing here are apps developed by Google. Okay, and there are more than 60 apps which are developed by Google, I mean, used by Google, where they used Kotlin as a programming language. So that is what the importance of Kotlin here. And over all the apps present on Play Store, most of the apps are developed using Kotlin only. So as it has all the advantages over Java and other programming languages, and 60% of the professional Android developers also use this Kotlin as their programming language. So this is a video from Zomato about their Android application. Was Are you able to hear the sound?
No, Preetham, it's not audible.
The sound isn't coming. No? Okay. So yeah, then so okay, I'll send it to you later. Nothing. There's nothing in this. Like they'll be telling about how are they using Kotlin in their development and application process. So one sec, I'll try to play this without headphones. Are you getting it now?
No, Pritham, we can't hear the audio.
You can't hear it?
No.
So the thing I want to tell you here is um, the one who developed and this Zomato application. He is one of the co-founder, uh, Gunjan Pattaidar. Someone I read it somewhere. So he is from a textile technology background. So in his BTech, he did a course. So his course is about textile technology. So he is not into computer science. So he has developed this Zomato application. So I'm telling you this because there is no need of fearing that only computer science has to do this thing. So whatever the branch you may be from, you can be able to learn this process and you can be able to do it. So who knows, you may be creating some exciting apps to the world. So yeah. So going to the study jams journey, uh, we'll be having some 5 to 6 units. We'll be having 6 units in which there are some pathways provided. I'll show it to you, and they'll be having some quizzes. And after you after you are done with the quizzes, you will be getting the badges, and that badges will be added to the developer's profile. This is how the units look like. So these are all the pathways. So we have from 1 to 15 pathways. So these are categorized into different units. So let me show that to you. So you are able to see this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, continue.
So this is the course we'll be going through, the Android basics in Kotlin. I'll be sharing you the link in the group. So we have this 6 units which we have to complete. So yeah, these are the units, and these are all the badges you can be able to earn when you complete all the course. Okay. So Coming to the first unit, let me tell you how the environment is going to be. I think in cloud you saw something like quick labs, right? You had quick labs. So in this we'll be having something called code labs. Okay. So when you enter the pathway, you will be having this level wise units. Okay. You have to go through all the videos which they'll be showing you. They'll take you through the course. And so starting with Kotlin, let me show this to you how the code lab looks like. So this is how it looks like. Okay. You have to go through all of this. They will be telling about the programming language and how it is developed, and how do you get to learn this programming language. So in order to practice the Kotlin programming, they had developed an environment called Kotlin Playground. You can directly have it online. So not just like you can download it offline too, but it will be easy online. So this is how the basic starting Hello World program looks like in Kotlin. So yeah, I think you have everyone knows how C language goes, right? You will be having this hash include stdio.h as your header in C, and also for creating a function, you will be, after the header you will be having void main. You know this, I think. In order to print a C program, you will write printf and all for kind of taking inputs from the user. So this is how a C program looks. But in Kotlin, we won't be using the header like this. So we'll be directly having a function which includes main as the important one. So we need to have a main. Without main, we can't run the program. Okay, if we type some other name instead of main, it will show you an error. So, so see this. This is how a comment looks. This is a single line comment, and for multi-line comments, you can use this. So if you run this, as you're not having main method, you will get an error. So in order to build any project, you have to have this main. So see, you got the output. So this fun is a keyword which is used to represent function. So this is how the basic code goes. So like this way, they'll be going through all the tasks you have to do, and you have to implement all these in order to learn the programming language. And also there is something called Kotlin cones. In this So yeah, in this they will be providing all the classes and all sorts of programming techniques where you can directly code and find answers to this. So it will help in increasing your coding skills and all in Kotlin programming language. So you need this because this is the only important language we require for developing Android applications. So yeah, this is how it goes. Next, you need to complete all these things, and it is good to have errors. Then only you will get to know where the program is going wrong, and all. So you have to resolve those errors and yeah. And one more thing, I showed you this, right? In C programming, we write printf and scanf for displaying and adding strings to the output. So in Kotlin, we have something called println. Ln stands for line. We'll be having println. We also have a print function too. So I want you to know the difference between print and println while doing that thing. They'll be asking you the same here. So you have to know the difference. So in the next session, you will be telling that. Okay. So after you are done with this, you have to go to the next step, and finally you will be having this quiz. After you attempt all the quiz answers, and if you get the required score, you will be getting the badge for the pathway. And I said I'll be showing you the developer's profile, right? So before doing all this, you need to get to make sure that you're having you are logging to the correct mail ID which are using the developer's profile. Let me show you how does that look. So yeah, this is how the developer's profile looks like. After you complete those pathways, you will be getting all these badges. After completing every pathway, you will be getting a badge. So after you get a badge, you can share this on your LinkedIn, and else you can share this like one sec, you can share this on your LinkedIn, Twitter, and all. You can directly post it. That's the use of these badges. Okay. And next, let me show you how to download Android Studios. That is the main thing which will be important for us in all the sessions in order to build the app, right? So there is also a pathway. You can go through this, but let me show you. So there will be some problems coming into picture when you start downloading this Android Studio. Some installations problems will be there. Feel free to message on the group if you get any problems while installing the Android Studio. So nothing, just check your system requirements. You see here in Mac also they are developing Android applications. In order to download the Android Studio, um, get to know your specifications and system requirements. So just as always, you do how to download anything into your computer. So just download Android Studio. You will see here the latest version which you will be getting. Coming down, you will get to know the system requirements part, where check which operating system you are using and download it over there. As you have seen here, it recommends you to have 8 GB or more because it takes lots of space in order to process. So make sure you have that. I think 6 GB RAM is also enough. So 4 GB also works, but it only opens the Android Studio, but it lags a lot of the time. So make sure you have proper RAM in order to run Android Studio. So download it and yeah. you know how to install after clicking the download button, right? Just go with the default installation settings and click finish. After you press the next for the setup, and you will be getting this type of screen. Okay. When you first starts the Android Studio, so here is what you can start a new Android project. And then let me show you this in practical. Wait a sec. Everyone is following, right? They have disabled your mics, I think. Okay. So you are able to see the Android Studio thing, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I already created. So let me create a new one. So when you first click the start a new project thing, you will get to see this field where you will be able to have all the different types of screens, so which we call them in Android terminology as activities. Okay, so whatever the screen you will be seeing on the user interface in any application it may be, so it is called as an activity. So these are all the different activities which are present. So there is a Google Map activity. So you can directly add Google Maps to your screen, and these are all the different activities present. So whatever the action you may be performing on an application, so every touch you do, every click you do has to be programmed in the back end. So that's what we do on Android Studio. So basically we starts with the empty activity. So then here we have to provide the name of the project which we'll be doing. So let's start it with hello world. Okay, this will be the package name as we are doing an example one. So select the programming language here. We'll be going with Kotlin. So yeah, this minimum SDK, you came to know about SDK, right? Software Development Kit. So the minimum SDK is all the versions, Android versions which we'll be having. You can select anyone. So like we'll be having it from Android Lollipop, right? Before that, Android 4.1 versions are all gone, I think. I mean, most of the phones nowadays are using 10 and 11. So there may be phones with these versions too, but we can select the version control over there. Okay, and see there is a thing here. Your apps will run on approximately 98% of devices. So this Android Studio will take care of everything. Then after clicking that, we need to click finish. Then we'll be able to see this new project running. So yeah, you see here in the bottom of the screen there is something called Gradle is building Gradle. So to know what's Gradle, uh, so we have something called vocabulary for Android basics. So you can see all the vocabulary present on Android Studio will be seen on here, whatever the activity will be doing. As we have seen the Gradle thing, see, we have all the definitions and what are all they mean in here. So what Gradle basically means is an Android tool which is used to automate or build all the process of the app. So what are all the processes you may be doing in this app is run and processed by Gradle. So in order to show you the output or in order to compile the code which you wrote, everything is done by Gradle. Yeah. So in here, all the IDs, we'll be having the file edit and all these things. So our program starts, while starting, this is how it opens. So make sure that this thing is set to Android. So these are all the backend applications in order to run the Android Studio and all. If you are on to packages project, you will be having the backend Gradle works or all the backend things will be shown in here. All the dependencies which it has and all. So in order to code and implement our programming language, make sure that it is Android here, and we'll be having this source of thing. So this is the main activity. So this is where we basically code our programming. This is all in Kotlin language. So as when you create an activity, so we can create a new activity. Java can also be used as an integrated language with Kotlin and all, as Kotlin is developed from Java. So we can create new activities here, and these are all different types of data types or something. Like you can have a class, and you can have data classes and all inferences. So this main activity is where everything starts. And as you create a main activity, uh, along with this, Android Studio will also create something called a .xml file. So as it is Kotlin, you will have .kt file, and as it is for the I told you, right, for the backend thing we'll be doing Kotlin, and for the front end thing we'll be going with XML. So, so XML is a programming language which has all the tags and all. This is how the code looks like. You can change it to the split version or directly design it here. So in this design phase, you can directly you can see on this left corner there are things like text view, button, image view, and recycler view. All these are there, right? So you can directly add those, drag those things onto the screen. So you can place it on the activity which you are going to create or something. And in order to we will be having different activities in an application, right? So in order to connect those activities, and in order to make changes in those activities, like if in a login screen we will be entering the username and password. After clicking on login button, we will be navigated to the dashboard which we'll be having, right? So in that way, in order to do that, in order to navigate between activities and all, Kotlin takes all the things. We'll code in Kotlin in order to do all those things. So, so we may have various activities as we are building as if we are want to build various applications. So the main program starts with this thing called manifest. So in this manifest file, it is also an XML extension where we'll be having this piece of code called intent. So this is the important code. This is placed in this activity, right? The main activity, you can see the name of the activity as main activity, which is this one. So wherever this piece of code is placed, that is where the program starts first. That means as you run the thing, Android Studio thing, you'll be able to see the output in this XML format. So let me show you how does that work. Before that, you'll be able to see this res, right? In this we have something called drawables, layout, map, and values. So in these values, you will be having all the color codes which you will be adding to your front-end application. And in layouts, we'll be seeing the XML file in order to code the front-end part. So using all this drawable thing is about having all the icons starting from the applications icon, which you'll see on our screen. uh, Everything, every picture comes into this drawable, so we have to create those uh, by this image assets. So we have to create those icons here. So this is how, while you run a basic Hello World program, you will be able to see the application running on the emulator or something. Okay. So I said emulator, right? This is what it looks like. So in order to run your code or implement it, in order to know the output of the code which you have written, so we need to run it, right? We need to know how the app works, so we can directly send it to our phones too, by changing the developer tools settings. We'll be able to connect the Android Studio to our Android device. I mean, phones or tablets, anything. If not that way, we can be able to directly do it using emulator. Let me show you how to create it. Okay, let me first show you how this program goes. Right. This is XML thing we had. This is the main activity, right? Okay. So here we have the run button. When you click this, the Gradle starts running the. Uh, this is the previous one I had. Right. So this is how the virtual environment looks like. This is what the emulator I talked about. So make sure you have proper internet connection, and make sure it runs very, it takes lots of space. So make sure you have proper internet connection. So yeah, so we got this thing, right? Let me show you. So yeah, this is what we wrote in XML. So this is what we added a button. So basically it has a hello world, right? So when we run the program, you have this output on this. So the button came here because of the layouts which are present on XML, right? You can see here, right? Constraint layout. So there are different types of layout. You'll be getting to know this when you start the pathways. So this layout will helps you form a correct structure of how you want to implement your app. So I took out the button code, right? Let's see how it looks now. See, we just got the hello world. So let me change this thing and tell you. So instead of hello world, let's say, so we got the text here. It will be changing simultaneously, and if you can also add, you can also increase the text size. Yeah. And text format also, you can change the style of the text. You can see this environment is showing directly to us the whether to have bold or italic or normal. This is what Android Studio does. It shows everything to us, so we just have to be fast enough in coding this. So we can also add the colors. So yeah, it is showing all the predefined colors on this. As we have seen in this values of colors.xml file, we have the purple color. We can also add some colors here, looking in the material things. So yeah, you can also add color. So yeah, the color changed, right? So when we run the program, yeah, see, this is how it works. So I just made it on XML. So we'll also be using Kotlin for navigating between screens and all. This you will be getting to know while you go through all the pathways. So that these are all the pathways you have, starting from the front end operations to getting input from the user. Like I said, on the login screen, we'll be having the username and passwords, right? So you can add those. The scrollable lists also. The thing when you scroll something in an app, that is not automated. So every process you do has to be coded in the background. So that's what we learn through these pathways, and this is what the timeline I thought of having. So today's 20th, right? We'll be completing these pathways um, on 27th. On 22nd, we'll be having another session. So these are all the dates of sessions which we'll be having. So the final thing is, after learning these pathways, we need to build an application, so from our college end, and we have to post it to Google. So they'll be verifying the app which we have built. So in order to do this, we have to divide among us into groups. So I'll get to know, I'll let you know about that in the group and all. So these are the basic requirements which you are to have. Okay. Yeah, this is all about the session. So one more thing, before you restart to this thing, you have to do the RSVP link which we'll be sharing, right? You have to restart to that. So without that, we can't consider you as attendees. Okay. So make sure you restart through the RSVP link. There are some questions in this. Yeah, you can build iOS apps too. but not an Android Studio. This is only for Android development. Okay. How much storage? Yeah, we'll be using Swift. Actually, in order to build the iOS apps and Android apps along with the web applications, now we are using something called Flutter. Okay, but those are for hybrid applications. So, as native applications are always uh, very much strong enough to do all the operations. So we'll be doing separately on different platforms. That would be better. So yeah, fine then. Thank you.